Why Finland is the most perfect country?
Why?
Let me guess. Free healthcare, free education, people care about each other, the government is helpful, not many people are in the street and don't know what to do. People don't have student loan debt like me, that I still have 1 year to pay. I'm going to be 40 when I'm done paying my student loan debt. So G will be 143 years old. Amazing, right? So and if you have a problem with your health, you don't need to go into medical debt. Amazing, huh? I know it seems normal for you guys in Finland, but trust me, there's a lot of country where what I just said is a privilege. You guys, I know you complain sometimes that things in Finland are not perfect, but guys, you're having it great, believe me.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that it's perfect, but my God. So let's react to this OBF video about why Finland is the most perfect country. Let's get started.
This is the closest we have to perfection, a cold and dark country where prisoners run free. Yes, it is the best we have, because these people are the happiest in the world. If you haven't guessed it,
Prisoner run free. Do you know? Someone told me a story. Not one of our subscribers, but on Discord, right? Someone told me that in Finland, when you have like, you're supposed to go to jail, right? The judge says you need to go to jail, but they don't take you right away. You can basically, let's say that the jail is like 100 kilometers away. You can have a friend pick you up, and the friend is going to drive you to the jail.
Ooh.
Or if you're supposed to go to jail that day, right? You're on bail. That day you're supposed to go to jail. Your friend can drive you to jail like that. I've heard this in Finland. I don't know if it's true. Someone told me that he went to jail and his friend drive him to jail. And then during the weekend, his friend can pick him up and he can be outside during the weekend. And then he go back to jail on Monday.
Do they have anything on
No.
the bell? Oh.
Like you can be free the weekend sometime depending what you did. And then the friend bring you back on Monday. I don't know if that's true, but someone from Finland told me that. Not a subscriber, but on another platform on Discord. I don't know if that's true, but I thought it was crazy.
How do you call that, a prisoner?
Yeah, well, that's why I said roam free. I don't know. Roam free because I think that in jail in Finland, you have more liberty sometimes. But someone
it's
told me
Finland.
that.
But the Finns aren't just happy, they are truly satisfied with their life and country. And they've created the closest thing to a utopia, which sounds strange considering what I just mentioned, but it turns out Finland outranks my country, Denmark. And we get praised all the time for having a perfectly functioning society. So how could Finland possibly be better? Well, it turns out they do a few key things differently and some other things way better than us and the rest of the world. But they also have one surprising
Sauna.
secret to their insane levels of happiness and health that
Sauna. The key is sauna. the next level that they have nobody else
didn't
have.
expect or
Kidding.
really believed in until I dug deeper and tried it myself. I'll reveal that and
cold
why their
shower.
prisoners aren't locked up as well later, but for now, take a look at this chart. It ranks how prepared cities are for the future of transportation. You can think of it like
Hold on.
ranks how prepared
Helsinki and Amsterdam remain steady at the top, while London and Tokyo decline. Our top city ranking changed from 2020 to 2023. Helsinki, Amsterdam, Stockholm, San Francisco, Singapore, Zurich, London, New York, Tokyo.
prepared cities are for the future of transportation. You can
Where's
Transportation.
think of it like the
What?
Where's Zurich?
In Switzerland.
Zurich
Yeah.
in Switzerland?
Yeah.
Olympics of urban transportation. Things like public transit, walkability, cycling, electric vehicles, and even resilience to climate change is taken into account. And here, Helsinki, Finland's capital,
Wow, it's
got the
going
gold
up.
medal. It's important for our discussion about their perfection because perfection isn't just about how good you are right now, it's about the future too. Helsinki is great and it will only get better, but if we zoom out and look at Finland...
Listen, before you continue, I'm surprised that it's better than Amsterdam because on our German channel, we reacted to a video about the Netherlands where literally people can take their bicycle everywhere to work. They never take the car. And in Amsterdam, I don't know if it's true in Helsinki, but Amsterdam, they have road that are only for bicycle. Like, it's only bicycle. They are like orange road. It's only bicycle. I've never seen that anywhere in the world. This was
Yeah.
insane when I saw this. So how can Helsinki be better than this? Maybe it can.
as a whole, I can show you one of their core secrets to success: equality of opportunity. In Finland,
weird.
it doesn't matter where your life starts.
What?
What country just now? This one. Finland?
Yeah.
Damn.
Wait. I think so, but where's Norway?
To success.
Wait, hold on. Yeah, I guess Norway is the white thing on the left.
Damn, they don't even have the big ocean to go out.
But Sweden don't have it either.
Oh.
Equality of opportunity.
Wow.
In
Remember?
Finland, one of their
Remember Vasa is somewhere there, and then they cross and go to Stockholm's, Kaj. No, not Kaj.
Kai.
Yeah.
core secrets
Kai.
to success: equality of opportunity. In Finland, it doesn't matter where your life starts. Everyone gets a fair shot. Seeing an index from the World Economic Forum measuring
Fair
social
shot.
mobility, essentially.
Look at that. Social mobility. Look
fair
at that.
shot.
Look at
Seeing
that.
An index
Finland, Denmark, Norway, Sweden. What do they have in common?
Second.
Nordic country. And then you have France, Canada, Germany, Japan, Australia, New Zealand, United Kingdom. A lot of European. And then you have United States, it's very, very far. And then down you have South Africa, Saudi Arabia, Indonesia, India, Brazil, Mexico, Turkey, and Thailand is probably somewhere there.
Don't count.
But see, you can see that like
Wow.
the countries that are doing the best are usually the country at the top here.
Wow, look at this.
Yeah.
Japan is always there since
It's-
the history, like
For Asia, it's
Yeah.
rare. There's nobody else,
Singapore.
Yeah. But Singapore, kind of a small country known to have a lot of money. But yeah. I'm surprised that United States is not lower actually.
Wait, there's someone here too.
China. Yeah, but you see, people say a lot of shit about China, but it's in the middle. It's not even worse.
coming.
Yeah, and it's climbing up.
index
So
from
it's
the
gonna
World
climb up.
Economic Forum measuring social mobility, essentially how easy it is to climb the socioeconomic ladder, puts Finland at the very top globally.
See?
How easy it is to climb the socioeconomic ladder, puts Finland
Because South Africa, right, despite the apartheid and some Mandela and all of that, the majority of blacks are the one in poverty and the minority of rich. Because usually in a country when there's not a lot of people like you, you're poor, right? But in South Africa, the white people are the rich one, and they are not in majority, they are in minority. So the disparity is huge. So the black people don't have a lot of social mobility. Even though they are a majority, they don't have any control over the country. So that's why they are
at
the
the
bottom
very
of the...
top globally alongside its Nordic peers. This means a child from a poor family in Finland has the best possible chance to achieve a comfortable middle-class life as an adult. In fact, World Economic Forum researchers found that if you're born into a low-income family, it only takes about 3 generations in Finland to reach the national median income. I know that sounds like a lot, but it takes 5 to 6 generations in countries like the UK or France, and a staggering 9 in
It's just basically how long it take when your parent is poor for you, your daughter, your granddaughter to reach a better level than your mom. So in Finland, it take only 3 generations, and other countries take a lot more of generation.
Yeah.
It's basically to get out of poverty from your own family. Your grandparents, your parents, you, blah, blah. How long does it take for you to, as a family generation, to get to the next level? You know?
Gonna cry.
Because that never happened.
Yeah, it's so difficult.
So this is very impressive. In a perfect society, everyone gets a fair chance to do what they want. To achieve that, you need to be educated, because education is perhaps the greatest equalizer, and Finland's education system is legendary. It's completely publicly funded, and students never pay a dime from preschool through university. But it's not just free, it's excellent. Finnish students score significantly above the OECD average in all PISA academic areas. What's more, Finland achieves high outcomes without the extreme competition seen elsewhere. There's minimal standardized testing and a big emphasis on cooperative learning. Crucially,
Hey, listen, there's one problem in Asia, in Japan and South Korea. To get into the university, you need to study 1 million hours. You have no life. People have no fun, and then people take their own life because they like have no hope and they fail. And there's so much pressure, not only for school but to play piano and all of those things. In Finland, they are like, no, chill. Everyone can go to university.
Yeah.
And what it brings, people have good grade. It's not like you're not like killing each other in the competition. They have proven that their way work, but there's not enough country that's following to their footsteps.
Occasional
It's crazy.
inequality has decreased over the decades, meaning schools across the country, whether in wealthy suburbs or remote Lapland, provide consistently high quality education.
See?
This ensures that kids
Again, this means that even if you're in a small city in Lapland, you're going to have good quality education. And that's the problem in North America is that my public school that I went, even though I had access to public school, it wasn't the same quality as a private school, right? So the problem in North America is that they're going to tell you in America, they're going to tell you in New York, they're going to tell you in Montreal and Vancouver, they're going to tell you, oh yeah, everyone can go to school. Yeah, but the school where all the black kids go, the teacher doesn't care, you don't have enough like a computer for the kid, there's a construction outside making noise and you cannot focus. It's hot in the room because they cannot pay for air conditioner. You don't have a good condition for the school inside. So it's not equal as a private school where the teachers are very educated. It's cold inside the classroom. It's fun. There's more things to do. They have great food for lunch and it's free. It's not the same. In Finland, they are like, doesn't matter if you're in Lapland or in Helsinki, we're going to give you food, we're going to give you good teacher, we're going to give you a good class with aircon. So it's not the same opportunity for people like in other country. In North America, it's kind of a mirage to say that people have equal chance. Just because you go to school doesn't mean that it's equal, you know.
everywhere, rich or poor, get a strong start and equal opportunity. And that's what we want in a perfect society. But the opportunity to do great things won't matter in a country run by corruption. And on corruption, or the lack thereof, Finland does pretty well. In the latest index, Finland was rated the second least corrupt country out of 180, only beaten by...
the first one?
Behind Denmark. Denmark, Finland, Singapore, New Zealand, Luxembourg, Norway, Switzerland, Sweden. You said it's only Europe almost.
Yeah.
Netherlands, Australia, Ireland, Estonia, Uruguay, Canada, 20... I don't know, 15, something like this.
Yeah, that's not good.
But we are corrupt. But you see, it's mostly Europe for the most part.
Denmark. I'm sorry, Finland. There's always next year. But this means Finland's public sector is extraordinarily clean. Bribes, embezzlement, and shady backroom deals are virtually non-existent.
You don't need to be shady when everyone has money. When you don't need to steal and scam someone because you have money. People say, oh yeah, there's a lot of scams that come from Nigeria and African country. Yeah, those people cannot eat.
Yeah.
So there's people don't have any shame and they steal from other country, white people, they go scam the grandma from America because they need to eat. They don't need to do that in Finland. So
Businesses can operate without corruption and public funds go where they're supposed to. It's difficult to overstate how much this benefits ordinary people. Infrastructure gets properly built, public services function, and citizens trust that tax money isn't being stolen. The Finnish state is effective, transparent, and stable, which brings us to safety. Finland is a country of low crime and a strong rule of law. The crime rate is interesting though, because the Finns handle prisoners quite differently than the rest of the world. As I mentioned in the intro, their prisoners are allowed to be outside of the prison, that in the first place isn't even a prison, as they are called open prisons. See, instead of revenge and punishment being the main driver for imprisonment here, it's focused on rehabilitation and reintegration of these people into society. The way they do this is with a network of these open prisons. Unlike traditional closed facilities, these open prisons have minimal security measures, no high walls, barbed wire, or heavy surveillance. Inmates reside in dormitory-style accommodations and are often permitted to wear their own clothes, creating an environment that mirrors everyday society. A key aspect of open prisons is the autonomy granted to inmates. They can leave the premises...
a critique that it gets is like, wait guys, this is better than life in America, in the prison.
Yeah, what crime that I can go to prison?
Yeah, but I think it's a testament to how good life is outside the prison. That you look at inside and you're like, oh, it's great. From my country, I would like to go.
Yeah.
But it's because your country sucks, basically, Because you still don't have the freedom to do everything you want. You're kind of stuck in that perimeter of the prison. You cannot go see a movie with your friend. You cannot do a lot of things because life outside of prison is even better.
Yeah.
But you look at that, and if you're from America and you don't even have money for a television, you're like, wait, they have a television? I don't have a television. It's because they give enough things, and also by giving prisoner things inside the prison, when you go outside, you're not going to be completely lost. Imagine that you spend 10 years in prison, and when you're out, you don't even know how to get a job.
Yeah, like what the world
Yeah.
doing right
These
now.
kind of things prepare you because you're still a normal human.
Yeah.
You know, you're still living like a normal human. So it kind of helps for after the jail to not come back in jail again, you know.
For work or educational purposes, and some are even allowed to own vehicles and host overnight guests. This approach fosters responsibility and eases the transition back into the community. Education and vocational training are therefore integral to the rehabilitation process. Prisons collaborate with local educational institutions to offer courses ranging from basic literacy to vocational
Man, we are so
qualifications.
far
And
away from
notably,
that in
inmates
North
have
America,
opportunities to
honestly.
engage in modern fields such as artificial intelligence, participating in projects that involve training AI systems, which is really cool. I mean, we have to remember these people, for the most part, are gonna be back into society at some point. Sure, they should get their punishment, but
Can I go
we
to
also
jail?
need them to be a part of our
That's what I said
community
earlier.
and society, and they need to be able to function when they get out. And they won't be if they're just chucked in a prison somewhere and forgotten for 10 years. So I think this is really good. And the results speak for this as well. But this begs the question, if you have prisoners running around semi-freely, what about personal safety? Well, I don't think there is a better way to explain it than to just show you. Look at this. It's a baby stroller standing
Oh.
unattended in the street in a big city with a baby in it in the
We
middle
saw this in
of
another
winter.
video.
And it's not the only one.
I think people told us that during the winter, it's helped their immune system, right? That the circulation of the blood and stuff like this.
Yeah.
So
Where you go, you'll see this. Unattended baby strollers with babies in them. It's a common practice across the Nordics. We also do it here in Denmark. We do it because it's good for the baby and we trust it won't be taken. Finland is one of the safest countries on earth. No one is gonna steal a baby. But imagine doing this in LA or New York. People would call
the
you
BB
crazy,
is gone.
irresponsible.
Well,
and probably
first of all, people will call the cops. You know, there's a very viral story in America right now. It was a dad that left his 9 years old, 5 years old, and 2 years old inside a McDonald's, like on the table, because he had next door, he had to go to an interview for a job.
Oh.
Someone called the police, and then he got arrested for negligence because you cannot leave a children like this unattended in a public place. Because, but it's a big debate. A lot of people were like, he's trying to help his family going for a job. He left. No, like, you should not be scared. At least he leave them inside. There's a worker there, even though it's not their job. He
Yeah.
not left them in a park or something. But some people are like, it's too dangerous, you know? So it's kind of big debate. Should he be arrested for that when he was trying to go to an interview? Maybe he didn't have the money to hire a nanny to keep,
Yeah,
you know.
that's
So,
three of them.
I know in Thailand that would be normal, but
Yeah,
I'm just-
I mean, the
yeah.
9 years old can take care of their sibling already.
Yeah, 9 years old, you can basically take the bus alone and everything in Thailand.
Yeah.
It's just that it's different in America. We were paranoid about safety and things like this. So,
Paranoid too.
yeah.
probably take your child into child protective care. But it's worth noting that other top tier countries also excel in some aspects here. Denmark, for instance, is equally low corruption and high trust, as I mentioned with the baby strollers, and Japan is another society with very low crime. Norway and New Zealand match Finland's clean governance, but Finland manages to combine all these elements to the highest level. A trifecta of trust, safety, and effective governance. It's rare to find a country
I mean, the difference between Finland and Japan is that Japan is hyper focused about working long hour. You don't have a lot of things to say. The work is very demanding in Japan. It's very long hour. You don't have a lot of free time. In Finland, you have a lot more free time, a lot less hour. That's the major difference. Because in Japan, when you're 5 years old, your parent already encourage you to take the train alone. The little girl, 5 years old, can go on the train and go to school alone without their parents. It's something that you will never see in North America. So Japan are doing a lot of things right too. The kind of thing
has
that you do in
zero
Finland.
of the major societal ills, violent crime, rampant corruption, political turmoil, and instability. But Finland seems to have figured it out. That means energy that would be spent dealing with those problems can instead go into positive pursuits like education, innovation, healthcare, and community well-being. Finland's government is not only transparent but also competent and caring, which reinforces a cycle of trust. People abide by laws and pay taxes largely willingly because they see the results around them. And that's really important. Imagine paying taxes and you see them vanish into thin air. I'm looking at you, America. But back to Finland. A great example here is that the Finns enjoy a universal healthcare system that is both accessible and effective. This is despite the fact that Finland spends less on healthcare than the US, which is pretty crazy to think about. But the quirkiest thing I found in my search for the reason behind their happiness is what I alluded to in the intro. Their obsession with the hot and cold. Let me explain. There are 5.5 million people in Finland and 3.2 million saunas. Yes, saunas. And that's just
one sauna for every 2 people. So basically every house, almost.
The official number. There are a lot more if you account for those that aren't reported. This is crazy and interesting enough on its own, but between their sauna sessions, they jump into the ice-cold water in the middle of winter. This hot and cold therapy has been part of the Finnish culture for thousands of years, but why? What's the point? Well, recent research suggests this very well could be their secret to their high levels of mental and physical health. So, as a believer in the scientific method, I had to try it out myself to see what would happen to me. So I went into a sauna, heated to 90 degrees Celsius or 194 degrees Fahrenheit, and sat there for 15 minutes. I was pretty warm when I exited the sauna, so I was kind of excited to jump in the ocean, and it turned out it was 10 degrees Celsius or 50 degrees Fahrenheit cold. And cold it was. Yeah, really cold. But what happened after? Well, I was very relaxed. The stress I had inside of me went away, and I was noticeably happier. These benefits are also what's seen in the research. Dr. Susanne Søberg, a Danish metabolic scientist, has extensively researched the health benefits of alternating hot and cold exposure. Her study on this reveals that this thermal cycling can boost mental well-being, enhance metabolism.
I'm a little bit skeptic because in Thailand it's super hot, right? All day, and then I go in the shower and we never have hot water, so I take my shower cold, and my mental has never been good. So,
But here, it's quite dangerous.
Really?
The doctor even had to warn, like, because, for example, the girl went to, like, on the cycling for a long time, and it was so hot. And then she didn't relax, and she get into the shower right away.
Cold shower?
The water not even that cold, right? Then she got sick like at night, and then she just passed away.
Because of the different temperature?
Yeah.
Oh.
Even for me, do you remember when I said like, since we got aircon, it's cold in the room.
Yeah.
Then I got out and it's hot, like different world, and I got sick that day. Like I'm dizzy, everything. Like I feel like I'm gonna die.
It's 40 Celsius outside right now, and it's like 27 Celsius inside the house. But maybe the sauna is, because it's not the sun technically, right?
Yeah.
It's a different kind of heat. Maybe it's meant to not cause sickness when you go outside after. I don't know. I mean, if it worked for them, maybe it doesn't make anyone
and
sick.
improve cardiovascular health. And it's believed to activate brown fat, improve circulation, and release endorphins, contributing to Finland's high happiness and health rankings. It's definitely something I can recommend. It was pretty fun, and I felt great afterwards. I can definitely see how the Finns keep doing this.
I'm not
for
sure it's a big
centuries,
reason
even
that they-
millennia, and
to be
feel
honest.
good about it. But let's look at Finland.
If they had that, but they didn't have free healthcare, free education, that would not work, you know? It's not the main
From
factor.
a big picture perspective. You could argue there are few places in the world and in world history where such a large portion of the population has the basics covered. Nobody's stressing about food, rent's not eating half their paycheck, healthcare is handled, kids are getting top tier education for free, and because work doesn't swallow up their lives, they've actually got time. Time to recover, time to see friends, time to just be. That's why they're happier. Because the basics are taken care of. And sauna mixed with some cold plunging makes everyday life more enjoyable, especially during the winter. But that's why the Finns are so happy. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
Yeah, we saw in another video, right, that the kid, when they're young, people have children. First of all, the mother and even the father, they have a lot of time off paid from
Yeah.
work, and also the kid until he's like 3, 4, 5. I think there's a lot of things covered for him, like the stroller, the thing,
Oh.
bringing the kids to
Like for
the
free.
preschool thing like this. It's a lot of it is cover healthcare thing, so they don't need to worry about if they will be able to if you're able to have a children basically.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the concern in America and why the birth decline is falling is that often it costs less money for the mother to stay at home than to bring the child to a daycare. It's more expensive to bring the child to a daycare than to not work and stay at home.
Yeah.
So it's really hard for people to have more than one children in America because you don't have the money to raise the children, and it's kind of sad, you know. So
Well, quite jealous and everything,
Yeah.
and like thinking. Don't know, stress.
well, thank you for the amazing suggestion. If there's more video from Finland, suggest in the comment below. Yes. See you very soon.